Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, DJ Kings, with my other host here, Tim, and you are tuned into Relax Radio and currently listening in on The Buzz, where we give you everything finance, everything entrepreneurship, everything business, and most importantly, everything technology. So, ladies and gentlemen, keep those ears peeled, sit back, relax, and listen to all the information that we have to deliver to you.
That's right. So we're tuned in after a long weekend of sports. We've got, we basically came runners up on the for the Euros, but
Upsettingly, yes.
yeah, it's all being close games though. I mean, I mean, better than losing by margin at least, right?
Yeah, of course,
Um,
of course.
good game, but yeah. Um, hoping to. I mean, I'm just hoping people get over this now. I mean, it was super hype, and it's like an emotional hangover kind of thing now.
Yeah, yeah. It is very
Um,
disappointing with everything what that happened in it. Like we thought football was gonna come home, but sadly we fell a bit short. So nonetheless, it's just take on what we've experienced now, and we're gonna go harder the next time we enter the tournament.
Absolutely. Now coming further into the conversation around the buzz. This is where you get your midday dose of business tech, entrepreneurship, updating you with everything related to keeping your pockets full and
Yeah,
your
problems low.
your problems low. Yeah, just like King
Yep.
says it. Now, coming further into the AI conversation, into London, into science and technology, we've got uh, we've got a topic that we want to break down with you. So stay tuned, everyone. We're going to be breaking down, UK's how UK has unprevailed plans for a new science and technology council. Now, we definitely are, with also, Richard Branson going into space last weekend, we've had a milestone of a weekend for science as well, science and tech as well. And, the only way to, go further into this is, I agree with this, but it's definitely investing in science and technology.
And also looking into everything that we are going to be talking about today, there is also speaking on even AI and technology in itself, as you know, we are now reaching a new technological age with augmented reality becoming another thing integrated into people's lives. Virtual reality, which has been introduced to us for a matter of how many years so far. Um, there's been funding which is there to boost, which there's been a funding boost which supports growing high tech companies in the UK. So that means we are most likely going to be seeing a lot more technology integrated into our daily lifestyles, as it says that UKRI has provided over 10 million funding boost to the UK I2S, supporting early stage businesses arising from world class scientific research in the UK. So yes, looking into that same article, they've also mentioned about how the UK Innovation and Science Seed Fund is a 37 million seed fund that invests in early stage, high risk, long term capital for high potential early stage
Yeah,
businesses, and their aim is literally just to boost UK competitiveness and productivity from
correct.
commercialization and many areas of publicly funded research, which includes healthcare, clean energy, artificial AI, software, and space technology.
Now, just like you said, space technology here as well.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know about the specifics, but and how far UK will be investing in detail on these numbers either. But we've got a bright future. We've got a long story or run ahead of us with UK tech, with UK fueling for AI powered contracts. Um, we've been talking about this over a while, for a period of for a while now, on the buzz, with regards to updates on AI, updates on tech, things in the lines of where the whole industry is going. Now, if it comes to the diversifying tech, now there is a London-based Robin AI that has secured $1.5 million, 1.5 million pounds in funding to fuel AI-powered contracts. Now, with regards to the science and the technology story in the UK, we know that we say this a lot, but with the breakdown of how bad the country or the world was performing in comparison to last year, the year
Yeah.
before as well, it's just this year and last year actually, but to recover from this, there was a ton of support given by the government to push for software or tech companies going public. That is to just draw in more money into the country, right? To expand or export the services. With this, basically, there's a lot of AI, as technology evolves, it's definitely aimed to be bettering for people's lives, making things easier, making tasks easier. And I was just scrolling on TikTok, by the way, last weekend, and I came across this video. Right, it says that they actually, this guy, he actually says that there's this website where I actually save all these videos, by the way.
Of course, because you don't want to forget them, innit? You don't want to forget them.
Sure. So this guy basically breaks down what this site is. So let's say, for example, you're doing a thesis, right? You're doing a study, or you're submitting a project, an assignment. So what a lot of people used to do is initially they used to copy off Google, this copy of Wikipedia. And now this is just the educational sector, right? This is just the education industry. Now, apart from this, with regards to any studies or any programs that people follow, where do they now what's the alternative to this? So now it's just a matter of there's one site where you can actually copy paste an article onto whatever, and then it basically paraphrases again for you. Second thing is, there's another site where you type the heading. Let's say, for example, a market study on all the toothpick companies in the UK or in London, for example. You type just a brief intro on it, and it basically, let's say you type about a 3 to 5 sentence intro paragraph, and it basically does the rest of the essay for you. It's, I mean, I'm just thinking how much this will change things once people actually get used to this. There's only a handful of these, but just like any other software, people are going to start copying it. People are going to start developing it, and
of course,
they're going to be they're basically going to be offering less costly products, better products, so on and so forth. So I'm just thinking, given that these come to life on a massive scale, will people really be typing articles or essays going forward? So
that's the thing. I highly doubt that's going to happen, because now that, as you've already mentioned, the people have been given something that, how do I put it? Basically, when you've pretty much been given when you've been literally given all of the answers that you need, or when you've literally just been given the whole route or the directions in which to get to your destination, do you say no to those directions and then choose to go and try and make your own path, and then choose to go and make your own path anyway? The way majority of the world is that now that they know that they don't really need to type essays, or they don't need to do all of this work in order to get potentially the same result as you would if you were to just use that same thing, that's what's going to happen. Like, people are just going to use the website where all they need to do is just type in the title, and then the whole thing literally just gets written out for them. On the flip side, it will affect the intelligence of most, because it's like now they're not actively going to try and find the answers. They're now relying on a website to go and give them everything they need, because they've become so lazy to the point that they don't even want to like find out where to get all of the things that they require. They just rely on the website. They say, "Oh, just put the title in," and then it just types everything for you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's also at a point where people are just instead of Googling things, people have gotten used to YouTubing things. So that way they don't really have to read, because it's read out for them there, or it's narrated for them there. Afterwards, anything to do in terms of visuals, they don't really have to research and look for images and things like that. Everything is compiled onto a video. That way they compress it so much faster, and comprehension is so much faster. So that's basically how things are changing now. And to come into recommendations on technology, on content from one matter, it's changing so fast. And to come to how technology is evolving, it's important for people to, at least in the UK, for people to start investing in AI, in science, in technology. You said that there's also space technology that's been invested in.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, there's been a superb program or coverage. I've watched the highlights of the live broadcast that Virgin Galactic was broadcasting over the weekend. So Richard Branson went to space. He came back, and he even in space he gave such an inspirational message to anyone in the lines of where dreamers are concerned. He says that he was once a child, and he was just looking at the stars and thinking what they were, and now that he was it's amazing. If you watch the video, he's basically talking about how while he's looking back on Earth, they head into space, and you can basically see his face, and the camera is basically facing him, and he's looking out the window, and you can see a part of the planet as well. You can see that curve as well.
Of course,
So, what he's saying is that now he's an adult and he's in space. He's in a spaceship with an amazing bunch of people. To just use it as a form of inspiration or motivation, and just follow your dreams, kind of thing. That's exactly that's basically what he said out of it.
Yeah, that's what he's promoting. That's exactly what he's promoting. Follow your dreams, and then you too can also be in space like me.
And there's been some superb content that these guys have been putting out. Superb story related content of this. If you can watch it, actually it'd be awesome. So they've been sharing about back in 1988, if I'm not mistaken. He had a call at some event, and this girl or this lady basically asks him if he has ever dreamt of going into space. By this time, he looks so much younger. He has he has these questions, and what he's basically saying is that if she builds a spaceship, they say he's saying for her to take him and go. So there's anyways a lot more that we have to share with you on science and tech on The Buzz. Make sure your eyes and your ears are plugged in. Make sure you get our app if we are on the get our app if you are not able to watch us on YouTube or Facebook all the time. We have we're with you on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure you're streaming on the app. The app is free on Play Store and Google Play. You're listening to The Buzz, ladies and gentlemen. This is Kings and Tim. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
The valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday. And what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. What am I saving or investing for? Why am I doing it? When will I need the money? And how much money do I need? Yeah. So that's quite important, because when you're looking at your net worth, you got to start with saying, well, what do I want my net worth to be, so that there's a goal, and then work backwards. How do I get there? And if I can start with £50 or $50 a week, if I save that every week, and you can go online and use calculators online. I don't have to teach you the maths behind it, but you can say, okay, and if I get a 3% return and I put this away for how long will it take to reach my goal? And that's called just this basic cash flow projection calculations. And it's what we use in financial planning all the time. What we say to clients is we say, okay, what is your goal? What is your objective? Where do you want to go to? And we discuss that in a lot of detail and over most of the meeting. And then the rest of it is saying, okay, in your exact circumstances, with your risk profile, with how you feel about investments and pensions and taxes and where you are and who you work with, and your education level or your lack of education or how involved you want to be. There's a lot of variables that we take into account, and then we say, okay, here's a plan. You start like this, that's great. And then we review it all the time. And we say, okay, we need to increase it, we're on track, we're not, this is what is happening. Because remember, when you're dealing with assets, the valuations that you place on an asset are always behind you. It's always in hindsight. It's never in front of you. And that's one of the challenges, right? Because you're always valuing what happened yesterday. And what you need is what's going to happen tomorrow. So that's a struggle. Yeah. So there are strategies everywhere from £50 a week up to £100 million, and they're different. Right? They range differently from everyone, but and from country to country, to be fair. Different countries have different tax laws, so different vehicles. But from your point of view, at the sort of normal end, I'm not going to call it the low end because I'm in that boat as well. It's as tax efficient as you can get it. That's where you start. You use all the tax efficiencies, and then you step up into different things.
But now, if you say to a child, if I went up to a child and said, you've had one to forget, God, there'd be an inquest. Why did you reject my son? Well, I haven't rejected your son.
I want to talk about, how the generation gap, has how much it's changed, especially when you check the youth nowadays in comparison, to people back in the day.
I'd say when I was younger, it was more disciplined. Not now.
In comparison to now.
Not at all. Not now. The way things are nowadays, the younger generation, you seem that they can't accept the word no. If that makes sense. They can't
accept rejection, essentially, is all you're trying to say.
Yeah, they can't accept the word no. So if you how did I do? Well, you didn't do very well. And they get upset. And when I was a youngster, my father used to say to me, because I used to be sport mad when I was very young, well, still am sport mad, but like participating in different sports. And if I had a bad game, for example, I'd say to me, you had one to forget. That's it.
Your dad sounds like a smart guy. I mean, yeah, that's the real fact of the matter, yeah.
He'd say to me, you had one to forget. Get over it. And that was it. So I'd dust myself down and do it again. But now, if you say to a child, if I went up to a child and said, you've had one to forget, God, there'd be an inquest. Why did you reject my son? Well, I haven't rejected your son. Or daughter. I've just told them that they need to buck their ideas up.
That's the truth right there. I mean, if you think about it, if you check the generations, like right now in the US as well, I've seen a lot of these things as well. In the UK, you get medals for participation. But what's the point? What are you trying to? Yeah, what's the point? Either you win or you lose. People are so afraid to put that whole notion of losing. When it comes to right now, the generation gap is just crazy. How much a lot has changed. Social media has taken control of our lives, and we don't even realize it anymore. We're crippled because of it.
That's absolutely right, Nick. Because, as you said, nowadays it seems that you get rewarded for failure. For the life of me, Nick, I can't get my head around that. Perhaps I'm just getting old and morbid. I don't know. I just can't get my head around how you could be rewarded for failure.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We are back from the break. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuned back into Relax Radio, and this right here is the bus where we're talking about everything technology, everything finance, everything business, and everything entrepreneurship. So make sure you keep those ears peeled. We're dropping some gems today, ladies and gentlemen. So make sure you sit back, relax, and listen to how we can help you get your... Oh dear, ladies and gentlemen, it seems as though we've had a bit of a technical difficulty, but nonetheless, we're still going to continue going. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I was saying, we are here tuned in to let you know about how we can make sure you keep your pockets fatter and your problems lower. So, tuned in today, we were talking about one of our particular topics where we were speaking on funding, which is helping to boost growing high-tech companies in the UK. And we spoke about how it's got relations tied up with healthcare, clean energy, artificial intelligence, software, and space technology. Now, it seems as though we've got Tim back. You got me, Tim?